My Christmas mugs in there, candy canes. Literally getting eaten alive by and stitches them together using the stocking pattern. Just beautiful. I love the line, like where you can see the Hello everyone, happy Thursday. It is currently the 4th of December. It's been a few days since I did my decorating video and showed me decorating the whole house. Okay guys, the hard part is done in my opinion. Bringing all the boxes up. You will have seen that in the first few clips of this video because I'm including that in my week 1 of Vlogmas. I'm challenging myself to start slow this year. I'm definitely not in the habit of vlogging every day, let alone have something interesting enough to do every day for a YouTube vlog. One of my jobs is working in retail, so obviously that's a massive chunk taken out of the day where I literally cannot vlog because I'm serving customers. So that was today. Today was a 8-hour shift. It was a long day, I think. During this time of year, I tried to not let any negative interactions get to me because I want to be cheerful and in the Christmas spirit. But sometimes it is tricky to do that. I'm sure if you work in retail or if you've ever worked in retail, customer service, anywhere where you're constantly facing the public and serving customers and being like 10 out of 10 happy even if people are rude to you, it is a little bit energy zapping. So if you feel that way, you're not alone, but I am trying to hold myself accountable because this is my favorite time of year, and come home and do something each night or most days and nights that make me feel festive and happy, whether that's like putting up a few extra decorations or baking or shopping, going to like a Christmas market or something. We don't have that many Christmas markets in Melbourne, unfortunately, just because it's summer. Like, they're not like the winter markets in Europe or in the UK, which look like an absolute dream, by the way. That's a dream of mine, to go to lots one day. Actually, no, I went to France in 2012 during Christmas. 2011, 2012? 2012 maybe. And that was, yeah, so magical. Anyway, that's a massive side note. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, I think that within a week, each week leading up to Christmas, I will post on the Sunday or the Monday, and hopefully I've got enough footage of the week. I obviously am very small here on YouTube. I'm just starting out, but it's something like, I love long form content. I've come from watching beauty YouTubers, lifestyle. For example, Zoella's Vlogmas or Zoe Sugg is so nostalgic to me and so many people. And I think it's just so comforting watching these people put effort into creating content but still living their lives and being authentic and doing Christmassy things. So Zoella's doing Vlogmas this year, which has just made me want to do this even more. Like 12-year-old me would be screaming. My main platform at the moment is TikTok, which is still a very, very small platform in the grand scheme of things, but I do post every day or multiple times a day on there, and I have been doing some Christmassy content, but I think this will be, yeah, just like longer chatting videos and festive things, obviously in the lead up to Christmas. And then I have so much backlogged of travel vlogs that I've gone on this year, and I have vlogged in the hopes of putting them on YouTube, but I have just let myself get distracted with other things and other work and not taken the time to properly edit and upload that footage. So those will be coming soon. So I've got Adelaide, country visits in Victoria, Australia, and a girls trip to Bali, and a Queensland, Australia trip as well that I've fully vlogged that will be all at least an hour long. So if you're like me and you love long form content and that's just something that is your safe space and your comfort, that you can just throw on in the background and clean or cook or just sit on the couch and watch these videos, that is something that I am working towards. Hopefully I stick to this. So after this very long chatty part, I am in my work clothes still, and it's 8 o'clock. I've had my dinner. I just got takeaway tonight, charcoal chicken and scallop potatoes, so good. But I'm gonna get into something a little bit more comfy, probably my Christmas pajamas, because I wear them every night in November and December, duh. And I'm gonna put up my outdoor tree. We have this outdoor LED light tree, which is so pretty. Also, what is going on here? Little wonky guy. Okay, there it is. That's what I was saying. Yeah, we have this LED outdoor tall tree that's just sort of metal and lights, and we haven't put that up yet. So I think I'm gonna do that whilst it's still light. I love daylight savings here in Australia. Like, it stays light until 8:30 p.m. Which is just amazing. So I'm sorry if you're on the other side of the world and it's dark at 4 p.m. But at least you get like a cozy cold Christmas, which we will never have over here. Unless you're in Melbourne like me and there are the odd cold days, even in summer. Anyway, oh yes, just a little PSA that none of my Christmas content decorations is sponsored or gifted. Not yet anyway, maybe down the track they will be. I do some collabs on my TikTok and I always write that in the description, but in terms of all my YouTube content at the moment is just purely what I have purchased or what my family have purchased in terms of decorations over the years, and things that I genuinely love and that I reach for each year to decorate my house in. Like, for example, a lot of my decorations are quite affordable because I don't have the money to be spending thousands and thousands on decorations. But like, I think this tree was from Kmart like maybe 7 years ago. It's held up well, same as the baubles, the green and silver baubles I use every year on this tree because they're small and they match the proportions of the tree. So yeah, just know that I'm not shoving things on here because they're promoted. They're definitely not. Yeah, I think it's nice to watch YouTube videos and not have ads or collaborations shoved in every minute. So I thought I'd be upfront about that. Okay, time for me to get off the floor and to move my bum and get some things done tonight before I settle into bed. And we're gonna change out of these work clothes. 3, 2, 1. Done. This is from Victoria's Secret and it's quite like a long, the camera's at a very funny angle right now, but it's like a long, almost like a sleep shirt. I got it years ago from Victoria's Secret, but they come out with similar things every year. Wearing my Peter Alexander like flannel pants, which I love. I also have these as shorts, and it actually was so hot today in Melbourne, but I think there's a cool change coming in. So whilst I'm outside, I'm gonna, yeah, put up that tree and bring you guys along. Literally getting eaten alive by the mozzies. They're all on my feet. Mozzies being mosquitoes. it is picking it up. Like, look at that. I feel like it'll be even more amazing. Look at that. Wow. I nearly finished my tree. That's how she looks. So you get the star and then it comes down to the base like that. So it's plug-in LED low voltage. It's just absolutely gorgeous, guys. How cute. Thumbnail. You know what I love? I love when in photos the lights look like this, like it's kind of a bit blurry. I think that looks even more magical. Like this. And then it just like focuses. Oh. Like, don't you just love that? I hope you get what I mean. Wow. So special, guys. Look how cute he is. Guys, you know what's so good about Christmas and technology? Alexa, Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Round of applause. Thanks to these bad boys. Alexa, close the workshop.
Okay.
Alexa, Merry Christmas.
Christmas has always been a special time of the year for our family.
So when technology works, it's bloody marvelous, because how good is that? It's also set on a timer to turn on in the afternoon at a certain point and then turn off around when we go to bed each day, every day. But if I want it to come on earlier or turn off earlier or later, we can just use the voice control with Alexa. I'm sure there's many other variations that you could use with Google Home, but we already have an Alexa. So last year, also not sponsored, I bought this myself from Amazon last year because I just felt that there was a bit of a smarter way to go about it instead of turning on every single PowerPoint manually every day, every night. So this is what they look like. They're called Fresh Link, and this is the 10A, it's called like, yeah, the 10A plug. It came in a 4-pack. I believe it was like $90, maybe between $90 and $100. So not super cheap, but look, they worked all of last Christmas and they're still functioning after sitting in the drawer for a year. Well, as they should, but I feel like it's important to say. So yes, we love, but I do have lots of battery powered lights as well, which obviously cannot link up to this thing. So if you've got lots of plug-in lights and if you've got outdoor Christmas lights, the problem with our outdoor Christmas lights is that they are too far away from our Wi-Fi modem. So all of these connect to Wi-Fi and they use Bluetooth. So if you have a weak Wi-Fi in your house, that could be an issue because it relies on a pretty strong Wi-Fi signal. Sorry, I keep looking over here to make sure I'm in focus. It relies on a pretty strong Wi-Fi signal. So yes, so if you do have like an Wi-Fi extender in your home and you have outdoor plug-in lights, that would be literally perfect for you. I said last year that I would get an extender for this purpose and I just haven't gotten around to it, so that's my fault. But yeah, we have this blow up Santa that I haven't put up yet. That's the other thing that I have to put up, and it's quite like a, I feel like on the inside, and mostly we've got quite a classic Christmas theme going on, but this one's a bit more of a fun. Also that plugs in, so that would be ideal to have that linked up because we don't want that going all night just to not waste energy or keep the neighbours awake if they hear the inflatable thing going at night. But yeah, so obviously if you've got lots of plug-in lights like me, Fresh Link on Amazon, I will link them in the description. Oh, she's such a YouTuber. Yes, fabulous purchase. But yeah, in terms of the battery powered things, like for example, these up here are battery powered. My garland on the table is battery powered. That's battery powered. I have lots of these little mini trees around. So those are all a manual job. Yeah, there's ups and downsides. An upside is that you're not wasting as much power with having a million things plugged in to the wall, and you probably need extension cords and cable management for all that. But the downside is that you have to replace the batteries. Batteries aren't that cheap. I'd recommend buying them in bulk if you do what I do. Last year, I think I bought like 2 packs of 100 and I'm nearly out this year. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do another bulk buy. And also you have to dispose of batteries separately to your bin. So you've gotta keep that in mind, and they're probably not the best for the environment. And yeah, you've gotta switch them all off and on manually. I guess, yeah, that just shows me becoming lazy because of these, because they're so convenient. Oh, I want to go back to the whole retail working space over Black Friday in the lead up to Christmas, and then Boxing Day sales, which is, if you're not from Australia, that used to be our most popular end of year sale. And I believe it's in the UK as well, because Boxing Day is also in the UK. Black Friday's only become a big thing here in Australia in the last, I want to say like 5 years. I actually remember, because I used to watch so many US YouTubers, I still watch quite a lot, but yeah, I would always watch their Black Friday hauls, like Bethany Moda, My Life as Ava, Alicia Marie, like all those girlies, Adelaine Morin, Law DIY, like that generation. I would shop from some American retailers like Aeropostale, Hollister, and do the Black Friday sales. And I actually remember when they started coming to Australia, it could have been maybe like 2018, 2017, and there were a couple of shops doing it, and I was like, oh my god, like it's coming here. And yeah, all these people were like, oh, what's this Black Friday? It's quite a taboo thing, because in Victoria, in Australia, we had these really, really horrible fires in, I think 2008 or 2009, and we called it Black Saturday. And it was just absolutely horrific how much countryside in Victoria tore through, but not just countryside, like suburban, sort of outer suburban towns. And there's this whole district that got like wiped out. It was just so horrible, and koalas, wildlife. Anyway, this is obviously very off topic, but yeah, it was strange when it first came to Australia, because in Victoria especially, we know Black Saturday is just such a specific date and horror that occurred. And I was only quite young, but my dad's a fireman, or he was a fireman, and he wasn't involved in those fires, but he obviously had friends, and it was just, yeah, such a big thing in the news. And for years afterwards, just the trees and the landscape and the houses were covering. Anyway, so I remember when Black Friday came, and everyone was a bit like, oh, well, Black Friday, like that's a weird name considering we have Black Saturday. And then it's just gotten bigger and bigger each year, and retailers are just trying to grasp onto it and get consumers to buy before Christmas, and trying to land all the customers at their store, because they're starting the sales earlier and earlier. And I'm sure many other countries are experiencing this because of social media and how the online world is just so massive. And these retailers can push through social media advertising, email advertising, everything. Sorry if this is so boring, but that brings me to the people who are in retail are then experiencing these sales after sales after sales, and it can get quite fatiguing. But I also find that this time of year isn't always very joyful for a lot of people. It can be quite a tough time of year, especially if you're someone who's struggling in the current economic state, which is, I know a lot of people, if you're a single parent, or if you are a household that is struggling to buy presents for kids, or even just let alone getting enough food each week to put on the table. This time of year can be a very, very stressful time, and not one of merriment and happiness, because you're not able to give like you would want to when this is the season of giving. So I always try to keep that in mind, and I think it's important, if you do work in customer facing retail or hospitality, that yes, not everyone will be at their best this time of year, and that can take a toll on you personally as an employee, because you have to be so like smiley and happy, and even when someone sort of hurls abuse at you or says a very degrading or nasty toned comment, you just have to cop it every single time. Unless you don't, and like good for you if you stand up for yourself, because I know I'm afraid of confrontation. Well, not afraid, but I try to avoid it. And also I could get into big trouble if I snap back, because certain workplaces you need to keep a certain demeanor. But yeah, it can be a tough time of year for that. And I feel like my last couple of weeks of shifts, we've had a sale. And bear in mind, this is only one of my jobs. I am very lucky that I only work a couple of days retail every week, maybe 2 or 3 shifts. Whereas I know some people work full time or they work 7 days a week retail. Unless you absolutely love your job and you have amazing customers and you might have your own business, like good for you. Just being like, oh my God, people are so mean. People will just say anything to you. Like for example, I had a customer the other day, and yeah, we have this sale going on, and our policy, like a lot of stores, is you can't combine discounts. And she was saying that she has like a birthday credit or a birthday voucher, and technically it's a birthday discount, and we can't combine that with our big sale that we've got on at the moment. So I explained that at the register, and then she just said in such a rude tone, like, what did she say? Oh, then why do you even bother giving it to us? You know, it's like we don't make the rules, and I feel like customers or people that have never ever worked in those sorts of spaces just don't get it, that we are there just to simply enforce the policies that are set out for us, and that is part of our job description, and we don't have the authority to override them or change them, otherwise there would be repercussions on us. And I think, yes, that is something that people fail to grasp, and making a very nasty tone and looking you in a dirty way like that, like what she did. I feel like I'm not even doing it justice, because I would never ever say that to someone. And I just didn't say anything. I just went like, it's like, I'm not your punching bag for you to hurl comments at and expect me to bend over and do everything you want. Oh my God, I'm about to run out of charge. Just made myself a little hot water in my penguin. Yeah, sorry, this turned into this really big rant, and I kind of wanted it to be more of a positive thing or relatable thing for people who are in a similar position. But yes, I just think that empathy can go a long way between both the customer and the employee. Obviously, sometimes we think something is common sense as maybe our generation or certain employees, but to other people it's just not on their radar at all, because they've never been in that sort of workplace. And yeah, it can definitely be frustrating, but I think common politeness, manners, please and thank yous, and respect can just go so far and make these interactions so much more pleasant. I've actually got a TikTok video lined up, sort of shortlisting all of these things that I've said and a few more things, because I've had so many interactions in my, I guess, like nearly 10 years of working in customer service, retail roles. Wait, how old am I? I've been working since I was 14 and 9 months. So yeah, let's call it, 9 years. Yeah, just absolutely bonkers some people out there. Yeah, so if you are a shopper, which most of us are, and you go in person and you are served by people, just know that they are doing their best. If something is out of stock, they cannot help it. We do not control the amounts of stock. That is a managerial or a stock manager role. We cannot snap our fingers and make things magically appear. We are human too. In the age of next day shipping, not everywhere is possible to do this, and not everywhere has stock of items, even though you had your mind set on it. It's just not always the case. Also, keep in mind that some of these people are working 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hour shifts on their feet, depending on the workplace. that is a long time to be constantly chatting to people, interacting, dealing with issues, dealing with just so many possible scenarios. So yeah, kindness and empathy can just go so far, and manners, as I said. Even like I've served difficult people, and in the end they say, look, I really appreciate your patience and your help today. And that just leaves things on a positive note, and you think maybe at the start they gave off like a standoffish vibe or a rude air, but some people, they might genuinely be having a bad day, or they've had bad retail experiences in their past, so their walls are up and they feel they make a snap judgment of you and you make a snap judgment of them. Yeah, I've definitely experienced things on both sides of the coin, like both as a customer and as an employee. But recency bias is obviously clouding me a little bit because I'm thinking of all the things that I've experienced over Black Friday when people are frantic and people are frazzled and they're trying to get everything done. But yeah, the lead up to Christmas, it is a very magical time. This is my wrap up, I promise. The lead up to Christmas is such a magical time for a lot of us. For some people, not as much. Not everyone loves Christmas, and I get that, especially as I get older, I get that. But I think to keep the magic alive is really special for adults, for children, for everyone, because if you do celebrate this holiday, again, which not everyone does, that's okay. Yeah, it can be so special, and it's about family and giving and spreading the joy, as cheesy as it is. That's how I see it. Yes, if you are struggling to find that spark within you because you are working a lot, whether you work in an office or you work from home or you work in retail, or you work in hospital, just find the little things that make you happy at the end of the day or the start of the day, and it honestly can make the world of difference. But also I knew that like once I got there and I thought, okay, I'm going to buy myself a matcha and that's going to make me feel really good, and it was delicious. And that just perked me right up, and that was my little thing of the morning. And then I knew when I got home that I was gonna put all the lights on and make the house feel really cozy, get into my PJs. And honestly, talking this out with you guys has been very therapeutic. But it could be any one of my jobs because I work multiple jobs, so that's okay. But yeah, on the whole, I serve very lovely customers and I have amazing colleagues that we all support each other and have a laugh. And at the end of the day, it's not that deep, but I know I'm quite a sensitive person and I can take things on board, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate because it's a very common and a great human trait to have a heart that feels a lot of things. But yeah, it can be a curse for sure. Over these weeks, I've got a few things planned, but I think this will definitely make me want to plan more festive things because yeah, I want to document them, and I think there's not much traction over Christmas in Australia. Like I for one, I know I love watching like Christmas in the Cotswolds, Christmas in London, Christmas in New York, like Christmas in, I don't know, some Christmas in Aspen, Christmas in Paris, like just those really classic places that are cozy and cold and have the Christmas markets. But I want to show that although we have summer, which doesn't feel as Christmassy, it is... The camera's overheating because I'm charging it and filming at the same time. So I'll switch to my phone. But yeah, after that massive tangent, I think once I start chatting, there's no stopping me. Yes, just used to seeing so many of these cozy places in winter that I want to showcase what Melbourne has to offer. I think the CBD does have a lot of cute decorations and window displays. Not to put another dampener on, but just the CBD's had a fair bit of crime incidents recently, so I've kind of been avoiding it. But yeah, I've got to pop in anyway to get my lash appointment, which is in the CBD. So I might bring you guys along and do a little wander around, or maybe meet up with my partner after work and him and I can go have a look at some things. So that is the plan. I also have a weekend with my family this weekend, with my extended family, and every year we do a walk for raising money for breast cancer, for triple negative breast cancer, to find a cure, because there currently is not a cure. So yes, we do a yearly walk, and our goal each year is about $10,000 to raise, and we're on our way to that goal. So that is this weekend. It's always the first weekend in December. I'll vlog a little bit of that. Obviously it's not anything Christmassy themed, but might help my grandma put up some decorations. And then yeah, it'll be nice to have, I've got a few days off because of that, because of this occasion. It's quite important that we're all together, and it is down the beach, so it's like a little bit of a drive. So me and my boyfriend will stay down there for a couple of nights, but we might be going to a winery for lunch the day before, which will be a cute little date lunch. So many wineries in, well, outside of Melbourne in Victoria. If you're ever visiting, just keep that in mind, because yeah, the wineries, they do it very well. Food amazing, wine amazing, and some of it's not too expensive, but some of it is. Do your research. But this place we're going to is expensive, but we're going to go in the more casual area, which has a cheaper menu. It's a little hack. You don't always have to do the set menu. They usually have an area that's like a bit more low-key. Tomorrow I've got a day off as well, so we'll see what we get up to, but it'll probably just be a bit of errands. I've got to go to the post office. Anyway, I want to show you guys as well. If you watched my last video, you might have seen that I have this little hot chocolate station. She's so cute. So I just got these little jars. I'm pretty sure I just got them online, or we might have already had them. But I thought that these were super Christmassy, and then this was just another third random jar. Just put the bows on, and then I made this on Canva, and in the background it says Christmas time is here. And then obviously hot chocolate station. I got this graphic off Canva as well. And yeah, again, the velvet bow. This wooden round thing, I think is from Kmart. Yep, Anko, Kmart, and a little command hook to hold it there. But I definitely saw this off TikTok or something similar. Just thought this was so cute. And then I've got a little tree in here that we can pop on. All my Christmas mugs in there, candy canes, wafers, M&Ms, Christmas teas. I do have my little matcha station here as well, ready to go. But yeah, how cute. I think that will be all from me tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you when I see you, to continue on the rest of the week for Vlogmas week 1. Hello everybody, happy Saturday week 1 of Vlogmas. Just vlogging on my phone because I left my camera at home. Also, side note, look how cute my hair looks. I do this using like those overnight sleep-in roller rods, like they're soft. But I just did this today during the day for an hour or two after I washed and sort of dried my hair, blow dried my hair straight. And then I wrap it in the rods, just 2 on my head. It looks so cute. So I'm currently at my auntie and uncle's house down the beach in a place called the Mornington Peninsula. So if you're from Melbourne, you'll know what that is. But if you're not, it's just basically this little geographical continuation from Melbourne and the Port Phillip Bay, which is the big body of water that comes into the Melbourne city. It like extends, what am I saying? This land also has the Port Phillip Bay in it, if that makes sense. So it's like the big bay, and it's like this semicircle that goes around. So it's like an hour to an hour and a half out of Melbourne, depending on where you live and where you're going to on the peninsula. But it's just very beautiful. There's lots of nice beaches. These beaches are much better than like the inner city beaches in Melbourne, like Brighton, Sandringham, Blackrock. Like they're pretty nice, but I think these beaches have much clearer water and it's less busy, it's clean. And then on the back beaches, that's the ocean. So that's the big waves and it's much more intense, whereas the bay is quite flat typically, unless it's really windy, then it's quite choppy. But the bay is really good for kids because you don't get the big waves because it's not the ocean. Anyway, this is, I come down here quite a bit because like more than half my family live down here and my mum grew up down here. So bit of a local, I guess. I didn't grow up down here technically, but have been coming down here very frequently since I was little because obviously my family are from down here. So we're having a lovely weekend down the beach. I was at my grandma's house and now at my auntie and uncle's house. I haven't done much vlogging because it's been a pretty chill day. I've done a bit of editing of another YouTube video, which is a travel vlog to Adelaide. Coming soon. That was from like June. I'm obviously very behind in my travel vlogs. I think I mentioned this earlier. Yeah, I've got a few to come, but that one is pretty much done, which is great. And yeah, we had this walk. Oh, I said this in my previous talking little check-in, this walk for raising money for breast cancer, to finding a cure. So that's tomorrow. I was a bit unwell on Friday, so I didn't vlog at all. I actually had food poisoning on Thursday night, which was yucky. And then I got my period Friday, sort of overnight on Friday morning / Thursday night. So it was just like double whammy of pain, discomfort, nausea, everything that you don't want. So Friday I was pretty much bedridden the whole day and not in a good state. I was also a bit like grumpy and you know how it is at the best of times. On that like first day of the cycle, it's just like, get away from me. But yeah, so that's why I didn't vlog Friday, but we're here now. But yeah, I just want to show you something cute at my auntie and uncle's house. So basically, before the whole custom advent calendar thing was a trend, my auntie has been doing it since her kids were kids. So like 30 years, she might have been doing it, which is crazy, but and she's been doing it ever since. So she did it when I was a kid. So that was, we got our last advent calendars when I was maybe 12 or something. So yeah, over 10 years ago. And then from, when I can remember, we started getting them. So that was a great stint. So it's just like the small things. Obviously when you're a kid, it can be like a bouncy ball. It can be a little wind up toy, like a tennis ball, ribbons, hair clips, just the tiniest little things, but that everyday bit of joy. And I was going to get myself an advent calendar this year, but I just decided to try and save a bit of money because the ones that I want, like the actual good ones that I'd use, the products are like $300. So not at the current stage. I'm trying to save for like trips and stuff and just be a little bit more wise with my spending. But anyway, yeah, as I said, like when you're a kid, it's just so fantastic because I'll show you what she does. So the ones that she made me and my brother and her kids ages ago did not look like this. Ours were an OG model. So these are like the new and improved. So she finds the material for the stocking and stitches them together using the stocking pattern, which of course isn't that, well, if you know how to sew, it's not that difficult because you just use the same pattern over and over again. So this is for my little cousin who's a boy, and then that's for my little cousin who's a girl. So they're brother and sister, they're her grandchildren, and then they've got, like, for the bigger ones that don't fit, have the numbers in there, and then some of the really small ones are actually in the thing, but they're in a random order, so you have to try and find the day, similar to an actual advent calendar where, you know, you have to find the day. But just how adorable. So she goes and does the shopping throughout the year, but not only does she do them for her 4 grandchildren, so has 2, then the other 2 must be at their house, another house. She does it for my 2 nephews, my other 2 cousins, and then another baby cousin. So basically all that generation of my family, she does it for, which is just insane, like the time it would take. But obviously once she's got the structure of the advent calendar, she reuses these stockings every year. But there's been some new, like when there's a new baby born into the family, she'll make another one and then buy the presents each year depending on their age group. Just honestly amazing. So I just wanted to show that because she is such a beautiful human and is so giving and thoughtful, and this is what I aspire to be like, yeah, as I get older. She is retired now, but she's been doing this like when she was working full-time, and it's just honestly so cute, and it just puts me in a really Christmassy spirit seeing that. Bless. I wanted to make a custom one for my partner this year, and I thought this last year as well when I was looking at just buying one. I thought, no, I'm going to make it next year, and then it just comes around to December 1st. I'm not organised, so I need to set a reminder in my phone for like the start of October or the start of November when there's the sales and stuff, and get all the little things to make one, because I don't think my boyfriend, that his family don't really celebrate Christmas that intensely, so I've brought that energy the last couple of years that we've been together. So I think it would be really cute to have advent calendars together, except obviously I wouldn't make him make me one. I'd probably just buy mine and then make his, because sometimes the men's ones aren't very good. They're either like really niche, like they're types of whiskey, or they're I don't know, golf themed, or men's shaving products themed. You know what I mean? Like it's just quite niche. So I think making one might have to be the go. Hopefully next year, next Vlogmas, if I do one. Also, what I really want to do is make like stewed oranges on the stove and put in a bunch of spices, and it just makes the house smell so nice. But we're going to be leaving soon to go back to my grandma's house for dinner because everyone's going to be having dinner there, like my mum and dad and brother. So I think I'll hold off on the orange thing, but that is a great thing to do if you don't have Christmas candles but you want it to smell really festive. You just throw in sliced oranges, or you could do sliced apples with the skin on, and throw in whole cloves, star anise, cinnamon sticks, just that sort of stuff, and it just smells delicious. But that is all from me. Also, just looking at my cousin's cute little custom made cards. Bless. Okay, I think I'm gonna have a little lie down and then we're gonna go have dinner. It won't be very interesting. I think we're just getting takeaway, so yeah, we'll be pretty chill. Just, yeah, also loving the hair. Okay, everybody, I will see you in the next clip.
Eight. And then your tongue to one. And then concentrate.
Good morning. It is 8:30 and we are on our walk for raising money for triple negative breast cancer. We are at the front of the pack. We're about 2 kilometers down, so 15 kilometers to go. So we should be done in a few hours, but my partner, he's running a half marathon sort of in the same area. It's a mental health awareness program, so he will finish up sort of as we're getting to the finish line down on the peninsula in this location. So yes, I'm a little bit puffed, as you can tell. My dad and my brother have a bit longer legs than me, so they're absolutely setting the pace. But great cause, and I think that if you have an opportunity to do some sort of walk or fun run for charity, or organise it amongst your own family like what we do, it's really important. So our funds go to the Love Your Sister charity, and 100% of the proceeds are going towards precise medicine for all cancer patients. But our goal is specifically to find a cure for triple negative breast cancer, and affects families very deeply. So that is the update. Hey guys, it is Sunday afternoon. We have done the big walk. The sun is out now, so it's a beautiful day, but there was a little bit of rain, bit of cloud at times, but we all did it. The 17 kilometers ticked off. I'm not gonna lie, the last 5 kilometers I was in struggle street, just tight hips and a sore lower back, but it's all part of it, and it is for a great cause. So push through, and yeah, now back at my grandma's house. We just had a little bite to eat. My family is still sort of having the barbecue, but we've got to get back to town, so I'm gonna head back. And then tonight I'm keen to do some Christmassy stuff. I've also got the day off tomorrow, so maybe a bit of shopping, just run some errands, that type of thing. But tonight will be the end of week 1 of Vlogmas, so I'll include some of the Christmassy things that I get up to tonight. Might do a bit of baking actually, that could be cute. And then tomorrow will be week 2. So next week I've got Friendsmas, which will be gorge. So with my 3 best girlfriends, so the 4 of us have done Friendsmas for the last few years. And what else? I've got like a work Christmas party for my partner, and it's like the team and their partners, but I don't know if I'll film that because I'll be awkward, lol. So yes, the events are coming in, and then it'll just be more shopping, wrapping, very festive things. So that is the update, but yeah, feeling really good post walk. Now I've done a bit of a stretch and had another cup of tea, but the water is so beautiful. I'll show you the water. Look at that, guys. And they say that Melbourne doesn't have good beaches. Well, I guess technically this is an hour and a half out of Melbourne, but just beautiful. I love the line, like where you can see the shallow into the deep. Some boats out. Anyway, feeling very blessed. So we're just sitting here chilling, and yeah, we'll head back shortly. See you in the next clip. Guys, when we say that Melbourne does have good beaches, this is what we mean. Hello everyone, it is Sunday evening. We drove home and just relaxed and chilled. It was such a nice sunny afternoon, but I've gotten into my Christmas PJs, of course, and I thought I'd have a little bit of, what's it called? Christmas cake? Yeah, we've had quite a light dinner because we had this sort of late lunch snack thing, and yeah, I'm craving something sweet, of course, as always. So, just to set the vibes, also all my little Christmas mini trees are from Koch & Co. I will link them down below, but I think they just add such a cute little touch, like in the kitchen where you might want to add a bit of a festive spark to the decor. So I love these little mini trees, and you can also get ones that don't light up. I actually just got these ones from the op shop. I got like a set of 2 or 3, and these are really cute as well, but I do love the ones that light up. And look how cute this little guy is too. Little wooden village. I think this is just from Kmart. They bring these out every year typically. So here we are, we've got our little winter village, my penguin mug. Does anybody else just love drinking hot water on its own? Like sometimes you don't always feel like tea, and when you're drinking hot water, you're obviously still drinking water, so it's good for you, but the heat, it just adds something to it. And some people think I'm absolutely bonkers when I do this, but I've seen that Stormzy also loves the hot water. I saw that in one of his videos. I'm like, I found my people. So if you like just drinking hot water on its own, please let me know. Because yeah, 9 people out of 10 call me crazy, but I've definitely got it from my mum, but it's just like, it's just so comforting. Oh, that one's really hot though. Careful. Here we have the cake. My beautiful auntie Lisa made this cake. She makes a couple every year typically and gives them to my grandma, and she kept us some as well. So I'm just gonna have a little cheeky sliver. It's got fruit in it, so of course it's good for you. But even so, I don't really care. We love a sweet treat over here. I'm just going to pop it in the microwave. Now we don't have any cream, so I'm just going to do a little bit of butter. Look at that, guys. Filming it for my Vlogmas. Say hi.
Hi.
Do I look like I'm on a Christmas show?
Yep. You look like Nigella.
The flavours are dancing on my tongue.
I'm looking at the microwave.
Oh yes, she loves the microwave. Here's the Christmas cake, guys, with a bit of butter. And I'm going to take my little jar of M&Ms. If you want to make something just look really Christmassy, this is so easy. Just Christmas M&Ms in the jar. And as you can see, I put a little ribbon around it, and I've got the tartan tin. And you just put that on display like in a corner of your kitchen, and it's so cute. I leave mine next to the kettle where I've got a little hot chocolate station that I think I've shown earlier in this video, but I'll put a clip here. And it's just so festive and cute. It looks a bit sad, my few M&Ms there, but you get the picture.